since it's the Bullfrog and Keith show, what is the
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for your Raw review. Wow, the one of the worst performing women of the night. It was in a match earlier in the night, in a match where she looked bad compared to the other women. Like, the other woman looked pretty good, to be honest. But she looked really bad. And then she is the one that wins the women's battle royal thing. I just want to, like, it's so stupidly bad. I almost wish Eva Marie did come back, because that would have been better than that. I mean, are you serious? She's not much better. She didn't look...
Something different there.
Can you hear everything now? I think the music wasn't working.
There we go.
And the music wasn't on, everybody. I'm sorry. Now it's working.
Now we're grooving.
Fuck. Oops, I shouldn't have said that. Fuck. God damn it.
What a disappointing show, though. I genuinely was looking forward to Mustafa Ali and Retribution, and we got bait and switched yet again. They advertised it, and we got none of it.
Horrible. Horrible stuff, man. No music. Sorry about that, guys. Probably heard me breathing heavy. I ran down the stairs.
Where's the fucking music? Where's the fucking music?
We had no music. I'm sorry. I messed up. I'm dumb. I hit the button. Now we're fixed. Dude, I went off on multiple rants today. So yes, John, if you didn't hear it, it's up on Jman News in full. It's also up on Patreon, audio in full. YouTube is already mad at it. YouTube has already age restricted it because I went completely off. Like, I went insane. So it's very offensive. Obviously, I'm demonetized on most of my channels. So I can't even get super chats on Corrupted Nation. I'm not even allowed to have super chats on Corrupted Nation. So that's how demonetized I am on YouTube at this point. So yeah, I barely get any ad revenue on here, but it's up. Go check it out. Hopefully you're a patron, so at least there's that. And thanks for the support there, I guess. Jay Swiss, thanks for going up to the $5 spot. He went up from, I think, $2 to $5 or $1 to $5. Either way, Jay Swiss.
Thank you to the Swiss man.
One of the differences about tonight was that, luckily, there was at least a couple good matches. But they were so early on that this last hour was just murder.
It was a drag, such a painful crawl, and I was holding out for the last hour to see everything happen with Retribution, and we got none of that, so that was a big disappointment. The opening match with Kevin Owens was good.
A little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Ooh,
That's
want
it.
some bubbly? Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
You can tell me WWE doesn't reflect real life. The BLM gang still circles around the US title. The Darky Tag Champs trade the 4 belts around with a fist bump and a nod. Last week we reveal ISIS actually runs the Antifa group. Biden and Kumalat crash.
Oh my god. Yo, Hunter, what's up, Hunter? How you doing, man? I think Hunter might be Mitch McConnell. I'm not sure. Thank you, Hunter.
Could be. Mr. Kincaid is spot on the chat. He says, I don't understand that either. For a hot angle from last week and nothing from Mustafa Ali and Retribution. It doesn't make any sense. I'm baffled by it because they were bragging on Twitter how last week the angle got millions of views for each segment that they were a part of, you know, for the reveal and the attack and all this stuff. And now we get nothing. Just a recap. Absolutely nothing. It's baffling.
It's probably like because they were like, let's wait till after the draft to get that going. I guess,
but then why advertise it?
I don't know, dude. They don't know what they're doing.
That's the problem. They don't.
They suck. I mean, that was the one thing that was like, what's going to happen? And then it's not here. The one thing that you're like, what's going to happen? And it's not here. And the only things that were good tonight were accidents. You know, it was like, or not accidents, but they were just like, okay, you kind of
thrown together, unintentional.
Yeah, or flip a coin. You know, flip a coin. Oh my God, Owens and Aleister Black was the best thing of the whole night.
And that didn't have a strong or even really a decent story to it. You know, there wasn't hardly any story. It was just that Kevin was trying to be compassionate and about his eye, and then Black flipped out. That was pretty much the entire story for that, and they've been fighting for a little bit of time now. Nothing to build up to it, no real purpose, but it was a good match. It wasn't great, but it was pretty good. That one spot with the Meteora, where Aleister Black dove onto Kevin Owens' shoulders with his knees and pushed him through the chairs. That was a great-looking attack.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Stunner, and then putting him through the table for that they had good moments throughout it. So certainly a really good, solid opening match. But I think the biggest problem with the draft, I said in the chat before, was no NXT. Now I'm a hypocrite because I realize that I don't want to see NXT guys get called up.
Yeah,
I don't want to see them go to Raw or SmackDown and get ruined. But without having them in the draft, you go ahead and there's no sense of wonder or surprise that can happen.
Yeah.
Either someone's coming from SmackDown or you're staying on Raw. Those are the only two options for tonight. At least when NXT was coming, you don't know which brand they were going to. Is it Raw? Is it SmackDown? And, you didn't know who was coming up. So there was this intrigue to it. Now it's just, all right, they're going to reorganize the roster, sit back and wait for it to be done. There's no real interactivity with it. There was nothing to keep you engaged.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really nothing tonight. Again, it was all accident. I mean, Lars Sullivan showing up was like kind of cool a little bit. And then, although it was funny, again, after, it's like this guy is in trouble every time he returns. Every time he returns, there's something that comes out about him. Now he's talking to women behind the scenes, harassing them, so to speak. And then there's another thing about something, I forget now, but there's two things that came out.
Him being inappropriate, and it's like he just doesn't learn his lesson.
But did he do anything? It's like someone trying to bury him for no reason? Like, what's going on?
That's what I said, too. He didn't really do anything that was that terrible or even wrong in this scenario. Like, he was still a bit of a creep or a bit of a... But if it just happened in this instance, no one would really care or probably bat an eye much, but this just shows more to his character. It shows that he's just a scummy, self-centered son of a bitch. I mean, that's really what it comes down to.
It's a weirdo, it seems like.
Yeah, he's very weird. So you had him talking about the Katrina victims and making fun of them. That was the other thing that was being discussed.
Maybe he wanted to be a comedian. I mean, I said I hope 9/11 happens again. I mean,
Well, that's what I'm saying. You don't know context. That's why I'm not jumping on the hate bandwagon with this, but it just shows more to his character. I
hope 9/11 happens again and Lars is the only one in the building. How about that?
Double down on that one.
Let me out of here. I'm on the 60th floor. Let me out. I'm Lars Sullivan. Let me out.
Looking through all his past transgressions and all the
I don't brush my tongue.
Yeah, his bright yellow tongue. Like you said, if that's not coffee, then...
I hope that's coffee.
Yikes.
Otherwise, he licked someone's ass in the back.
And
it might be that guy from that porno that he was in with a guy.
Mitch is making his return.
I haven't brushed my tongue today.
Idiot. You just got back to WWE. Why would you be risking it at all by talking to people in this way? Like, that's what I don't understand. Why would you risk your employment after everything you've been through already? Between almost losing your job, paying $100,000 fine, having the world at your fingertips and getting that taken away, possibly because of anxiety. Why would you risk any of this and fuck around? Pay attention and grow up.
Jesse and Lars sound the same, bro. Everybody always does this, and then I gotta prove it to them. Everybody fucking does this. I always do the Lars, and then people are like, isn't that Jesse? Dude, he sounds like Jesse. Have you not heard Lars Sullivan speak, dude? He sounds like fucking Jesse Ventura. You want to hear it? Here you go. Again, we'll do it.
People call it a lion. When I perform my primary function, people use that particular word.
I perform my primary function because I'm a lion.
My primary function is to hurt, maim, dissect, vivisect, and dehumanize people.
I dehumanize people.
He's fucking Jesse Ventura.
He really is. I just have no desire to see him in the ring. He's so sloppy at this point. I know you don't mind him as much, but it's not even if I put the stuff out of mind with everything that he's done outside the ring, and just judge it on what little in ring work we've seen. I didn't care for him in NXT at all.
Well, really, I liked him, and I thought he was all right in NXT because I thought that he really because he's kind of like a super big guy, but at the same time he's agile. So, but to see him in there with the small guys, he really kind of stood out in a fun way in NXT. But it's like on the WWE main roster, it's like he's just a little too small. But in NXT, he seemed like a super boss.
Yeah, because they always say, oh, NXT and AEW are mostly vanilla midgets, that kind of comment. So he stood out there. But on the main roster, he's smaller than Braun, So it's just and apparently the biggest supporter of him in the back is Vince.
Of course, I know it is.
We know it is.
He looks like
else had this stuff.
Good God, you look like Bruno Sammartino and George the Animal Steel combined.
Like he reminds Vince of the. He reminds Vince of the guys Vince was watching when he was a young guy. That's why Vince loves him.
That makes sense. I don't see anything special about him. Him on the mic is boring. It's very predictable. His in-ring work feels still kind of more on the green side. When you watched, especially on SmackDown, with the way he was slamming people around, it didn't look great or even that convincing.
I don't know. I don't understand that comment at all, but.
If you watched SmackDown,
he looks like he's trying to remember. I got to be honest. In NXT, he didn't look like this. He looked fine in NXT, but on the main roster, the only thing I can think that you're saying right now is that he kind of looks like he's trying to remember what he's supposed to do. Like,
looks lost.
Yeah, but what I mean by that is almost like in NXT, it was like, hey, go out there and you're gonna attack him, maybe clothesline him and then hit him with your finisher and then cut your promo and get out of there, whatever. And so he does. He comes out, he hits the kick, and then picks the guy up, does the finisher, and goes,
I'm Lars Sullivan, and I'm gonna devour people.
And that's it. But on WWE Raw, it's almost like tonight, or even SmackDown or whatever, it looks like he forgets. Like he goes out there and he's like, oh yeah, I've got to do these 4 things. And he went to, it's like he hit that throwaway move, and then he almost didn't get back on him again, like he forgot, and then he remembered
what was coming next.
Then he remembered, oh yeah, I gotta do that again before I look, because he started looking at the camera, and then he was like, oh wait, I gotta finish him with my finisher, freak show move or whatever, and then he does that. So but that's all speculation on my part. I'm just guessing that maybe he seems like he's a little bit like, oh, remember to do that, remember to do this, but that's me speculating. But you saying straight out that he looks green. Like, I can't even believe that. I've seen him in full matches.
He looks greenish. Yeah. Honestly, the way that he was clotheslining, like he ran into Jeff in the corner
are we
Friday.
We're calling a guy who's been in the wrestling business 7 years or 8 years green?
I'm not saying he's full green, but greenish. Just some of his stuff looked very spotty and.
Well, that's just WWE. I don't think it's him. I just think it's WWE. Hey, go out there and you do these things. Well, how come
everybody else in that match or segment looks convincing or believable and he doesn't?
Because they had a match. He just came out to do 4 moves. It's kind of dumb.
But the way he's delivering the forearms, he's missing, and everything looks very wild, and it just, I don't know, it doesn't look effective to me.
I don't know, man. Show me on the doll. Show me on the doll where this guy hurt you, because this is a thing with you. You don't like Brock Lesnar for this same type of thing. Did a bully who was massive just fuck with you in school?
No.
Are you sure?
I was bullied.
Are you sure he didn't look like? Are you sure he didn't look like Brock or Lars?
Bullied more by girls than boys. Christ, being the fat kid, that was worse than anything.
Damn, really? It must have been white women.
Oh,
I've never seen more bigger bullies than white women. I'll tell you that. After this Bill Burr segment the other night, these bitches are unhinged. First
the shit that he's getting for that.
But I don't know, man. I just don't see this. I'm just kind of annoyed that we have to go with, here comes Lars again for the 4th time. He's a monster that will be here until he's injured or in trouble for saying things about black people or gays or something.
Yeah, eventually he will say the wrong thing. So I give it about 3 more weeks till he messes up. But you can honestly give me a straight face and say Lars doesn't need any work. He looks ultimately convincing.
No, I mean, what I'm worried about with Lars is, again, like kind of what I said. I know what you're talking about, though, because I agree that I think he looks like he's thinking about. It's kind of like that promo I just played from 2 years ago or a year ago. Oh, yeah, it was June 2019, a year and a half ago. He's like trying to remember what he's supposed to say. And the reason is because listen to what he says. Who the fuck talks like that? Listen to this. Can you believe they wrote this for him? This is clearly a written promo. You're going to say my primary function, and I can't remember, to maim, to destroy, to devour. Like, those are the things I remember. Well, let's listen to what he really says.
Function is to hurt, maim, dissect.
Hurt, maim, dissect.
Vivisect.
Vivisect? What the fuck word is that? Dude, Vince is always like, don't call it a dragon suitcase bomb. Nobody knows what that is. Just call it a damn slam. So Vince McMahon, like, let's think about this. Vince McMahon, the guy who doesn't want you to call the wrestling moves by all the names. He can't stand Mauro Ranallo. He certainly wouldn't be able to stand Excalibur. Oh, God! Tiger Driver! Inside out a kitty sigh! Like, Vince McMahon, like, Jesus Christ, they don't know what the hell that is. Just call it a suplex. Just call it a slam. What a maneuver! You know, Vince McMahon, who dumbs it down for the audience and thinks the audience is fucking retarded, who constantly shits on the commentary and fires commentary and yells at commentary if they call too many words, too many things in the match, but yet this guy goes out there and says dissect, hurt, destroy, bloody, break, vivisect. What the fuck? I don't even know what that word is. Hey, Alexa, what does vivisect mean?
The verb vivisect is usually defined as to dissect the living body of an animal.
To dissect the living body of an animal. Isn't that what dissect means? Why do we need to add vivisect? What the fuck? Listen to
they
that.
had the thesaurus out.
Like, I mean,
they wanted to get as
dude.
many synonyms as they could.
Some cocksucker in the back wrote this down and somebody thought it was okay. Who?
It took 10 cocksuckers to write that. Get it right.
Dissect.
9 guys, 1 girl, all white, and they all went ahead and worked 3 days straight through to write that promo.
You're
And they
lucky.
thought it was
I
the
swear
best
to
thing
God,
since
if
sliced bread.
if Dewey Foley wrote that, I'm going to slap him. If Dewey Foley, did you write that? What the hell?
Vivisect and dehumanize people. Vivisect and
Right there at the end, he was like, okay, God, I remembered it, so I can really get into it. This is him trying to remember these words.
vivisect and dehumanize people.
All he had to do was come out and say, I'm Lars Sullivan, and I'm here to bloody, maim, and dissect and dehumanize people. That's all he had to say. That's
He went on
all.
and
That's
on about
it.
being fruit
That-
and all that other stuff, and it was
Do you
ridiculous.
know what they
It was
call
terrible.
a lion in the forest? It was like he sounds like Sergeant Slaughter and Jesse Ventura if they were too smart.
My primary function is to show all of you that the world isn't full of rainbows and sunshine. It's full of pain, agony, and a real-life freak of nature like me.
So basically this verbiage that Lars Sullivan was told to say in this promo reflects the physicality that he had to do tonight when he came out there, some of the other nights when he's come out there. Hey, clothesline him, hit him in the face with a boot, and then you do this, and then you pose, and then you hit him with your finisher, and then you pose and scream again. And so he's trying to remember this, like, because they're like, damn it, make sure you do that. And they're scaring him. And we know he's got an anxiety problem. Obviously, it was probably easier to work with Triple H. Triple H said, don't worry, man, you know what you're doing. You know, just go out there and just nail him with the move. Fucking, I'm Lars Sullivan, I'm the shit. You know, you're going to have 30 seconds. You know, we've timed it. You know, that move is like 15 right there. 10 more seconds, hit him with the finisher, and then stare, and then we're going to fade out when we need to. Just look crazy, and don't worry about it, man. You're going to be good. Give me 5. All right, cool, Lars. All right, Triple H. All right, what? I got this. And with Vince, though, it's like, damn it, and then you got to do this, and this is the time, and this is what's happening. And all this shit's going on in the backstage, and he's shitting his pants because there's like 900 directions for the guy.
Yeah.
That's probably
I just
it.
think we're so far past the point where someone's important because they're big, like because of their size. We're supposed to be awe-inspired and look at them like the next big thing. You know, it just doesn't work anymore. You need so much more than just the appearance.
See,
Vince trolling out, you know, and rushing out these big guys. You know, oh, so Lars, we got another Braun, we got another Snitsky, we got another, you know.
And that's the thing is Braun sucks, though. It's like, get rid of Braun. Just get rid of Braun. He sucks. Just get rid of Braun.
Braun sucks. Lars sucks.
But I'd rather Lars. I'd rather watch Lars than Braun. Braun is just garbage. Like
Braun's
Lars
stupid,
Sullivan.
but they made him stupid. That's the same thing they're doing with Lars now.
Kind of, yeah.
Him look stupid too.
No, because not quite yet to me because he's coming in destroying people. But like, you know,
another week.
We'll see what happens, but I mean, you know, right now it's, you know, he hasn't done stupid shit in matches and lost yet. You know, he just keeps getting his starts get stopped or whatever you want to say.
Because he keeps running his mouth in the real world. Yeah.
He looks more threatening now, though. I do like his appearances.
I said the other day his look looks better now. He looks more put together. But
well, it's
he
his
doesn't
beard.
even really have a look. He's just wearing the silly wrestling, trunks. That's it. So
yeah.
But at least his facial hair is more trimmed, so he looks a little bit more.
Well, I thought they did a good job selling tonight. I thought Morrison did a really good job. A few people I've seen him do that sort of pick him up by the throat, chokehold throw to the turnbuckle, and some people have like not jumped up for that, and they kind of like ran into the turnbuckle, and it's like, oh wow, it wasn't that powerful. So credit to Morrison tonight because when he got thrown, Morrison threw himself way up in the air, but nothing ridiculous, and he hit the turnbuckle almost like he was surprised he got thrown like that. And so I really got to give John Morrison, man, that he did such a great job in that sell. It's because he didn't oversell it, but he didn't undersell it like I've seen people doing recently. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? This massive guy just threw you. And unless you see that throw, he doesn't seem that impressive. And somebody recently just kind of fell into the buckle. And I think it's because they did separate from him on the toss, but it was just like, yikes. Like the one thing is to make the guy look powerful. Because once you see the guy get thrown, your mind believes it because you look at the other guy and go, oh my God, that guy is huge. But when you see a guy just kind of fall into the turnbuckle, you go, oh, well, that's not that crazy. Braun's bigger. He probably would have thrown the guy in the air. And the other thing that would help Lars is Lars, I think, if he had a spear, and unfortunately he can't do that because I think Roman and somebody else, too many spears, but if Lars speared somebody as his finisher, it would look like kind of like how Rhino looked kind of a little bit devastating, but Lars would look even more devastating. So
with all that momentum behind him,
yeah. I mean, you know what I'd like to see Lars Sullivan learn to do, or like to see him do as maybe a finisher or a setup even. Imagine if Lars were to whip a guy off the ropes, but right as he threw the guy off the ropes, he ran the other way full speed. He hit the ropes. He attacked the ropes. And as the guy's hitting the ropes and he's hitting the ropes and then they're coming towards each other, Lars fucking, instead of speared, he swantoned through the air. Like he was diving forward like a cannonball. So it's a cannonball, but in midair in the middle of the ring. And he went.
He pulled that off. That'd be incredible. But
I mean, think about that. If he just threw himself into the air, so by the time Lars flips, and as he's flipping, his back and his ass is what hits the guy in the face, and then the guy goes flying downward, and Lars lands on his back on the other side, and then fucking Lars is standing over him like, I just killed this guy. Then he picks him up.
His whole body weight barrel over him.
Yeah. Then he either just covers him and wins, or he does the other finisher. But I think him having to stop to do a power move, I think power moves should be Lars's setup, but I think high impact should be his finisher, if you know what I mean. So I think like it's backwards. With Lars, he does all this high impact stuff, and then his finisher is kind of a power move. But I think that's backwards. I think he should be doing these power moves in the match, but then it would be shocking if he did this running fucking diving senton that took the guy out by the head, like a drive-by car.
More power and then use your momentum as a finisher. That's a smarter way to handle somebody.
Yeah, dude, that would be like I don't know if anybody's ever done that. I've never seen that, actually. Maybe it's a lucha libre move that somebody knows.
I was thinking of crossbody before too. Yeah, that's what Gorilla Strong had said as well. But if you do it like similar to how Owens does it in the corner with the cannonball, he does it to a sitting opponent. You can do it standing out of the corner just as soon as you throw them off the ropes. Like you said, you run the other way so they bounce off a second time. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. I mean,
Part of the problem tonight, too, though, Joe, was that who did he beat up? Miz and Morrison. Who are they? Heels. They just got done verbally assaulting, Mandy, who's the face. And it's like, so you're seeing the heels get squashed and beat up. And again, it's like, why am I supposed to care? Why do I give a damn that Miz and Morrison, who are jerks, are getting beat up? It's like you don't feel bad for them. So you're happy in a way, but you're not rooting for Lars. So it just, I don't know. I don't know if it works or not. To me, it didn't, personally.
Guys, if you want an easy way to get to the donation link, I think it's joecroninlive.com. So try that, joecroninlive.com, and that will take you right to the donation link. All the donation amounts are listed down below. Let me just see here. Joe Cronin Live. Yeah, it's Joe Cronin Live. My bad. Okay. So for the people interested in the month, this is what the top donations of the month look like. So shout out to these people. We got D. Welsh, The Soundwave 92, Luis Antonio Alejandro, Lex Luger, Randy Viper, 6, Arushan Chu Botch Club on Instagram, The Wrestle Daily, Gook the Humpster Broski, and Luis Antonio Alejandro donating under a different name that time. So that's what this month looks like, and that's what this week looks like. Soundwave 92, Nick Hunter, Jesus Christ. Please, somebody else donate besides him. Easy E, The Goon, Alexis, sweet ass. Thank you guys for donating, and we are going to play the donations now. The links are down below in the description box if you guys want to click the link. You can support the show.
The Fiend and Alexa is money.
All right.
The draft sucked. All they pretty much did is move the current roster to the other show besides a few people.
Yep.
WWE stuck it to everyone saying Eva Marie coming back tonight.
Yeah.
I bet it's next week's season premiere.
Yeah, it might be. This was horrible, though, tonight. Yeah. I mean, this was a joke of a show as far as, there was nothing. I mean, that's what we thought was like, well, they never do anything on these shows. The draft is always useless. So that's what started making me think, well, maybe she is going to come back because they want something to do tonight.
Yeah, especially because that was the main event. So why would they save the women's match for the main event when you're like, oh, wow, there's got to be something else happening if that's the final thing of the night? And unfortunately, whoever started that that rumor was just doing such. So
and why not
she's
have
apparently signing a new contract, and that's happened, and we will see her eventually. I guarantee it.
Where is Retribution? Are they now only on Raw? Is that true?
They were only on Raw to begin with, but now they are officially drafted to Raw.
Okay, so I would have had them throughout the night beating up SmackDown drafts, basically as a punishment to SmackDown for not signing them, or because they didn't sign them too. Like they believe they should have been signed by everybody, because that would kind of go along with their character. Right,
They want to cause chaos.
Yeah, they're like Antifa, and they give me. I deserve an award. So they believe they should have been drafted to both brands, and so they're going to make SmackDown roster pay, or they could have said like, well, we tried to negotiate with SmackDown first, and this is what they thought we weren't worth anything. So now their picks are worth nothing, and then you have the SmackDown people hoping they don't get drafted to SmackDown that night, or looking out because they are drafted to SmackDown. And, just something stupid. And then, at the very end of their last beatdown of a third or fourth person throughout the night, they go, like, wait till you see what we have in store for Raw next week. You know what I mean? And they're on the phone or something, and Mustafa Ali says something on the phone, over the phone, or says, yes, whatever the fuck. And, like, it's sort of like it's an extra thing with Retribution, but there's no, they're still saving it for next week, but we're still seeing them. But we get nothing instead. And then the one thing you're looking for of the Eva Marie thing, you're like, well, we got that figured out. Well, that doesn't even happen. And then Lana wins the Rumble, the Battle Royal. Like dude, what would we... Dude, if Kevin Owens and Aleister Black didn't... See, that match was a 7.5 out of 10. You know what I mean? But it felt like a 9. Because Raw is so bad.
Previous weeks. And last week on Raw, we didn't have, I think, one good match, did we?
No. That we didn't, and you know what? But compare that match to the Street Brawl on AEW 2 weeks ago. You know what I mean?
Well, even to the Street Brawl on SmackDown this past week was fantastic between Big E and Sheamus.
Yeah, and
that was really good. That was a great opening, and then the Fiend and Kevin Owens closed the show, and they had a really good match as well. My favorite part of tonight besides the opening match, I really enjoyed that The Fiend and Alexa Bliss popped up together. That was cool.
That was all right.
That.
I didn't love anything, but that was all right. That was nice. I thought
I'm more into that storyline than you are. That's something I'm really interested in. I'm glad that
I don't really
care.
They
carried on with it from SmackDown.
Yeah, I don't care, but
it's been one of the more interesting storylines.
It's okay. It's just like I don't get it. Like I guess I'm not like everybody else. Everybody's like, I want Sister Abigail and Alexa and all these things. Like I don't care, but Alexa's great at it.
Yeah, I don't want her to be Sister Abigail. I've never wanted that. I like her as herself, but I like her just being brainwashed and twisted. It's working.
I know,
and
it's
I will
good.
say the threat was good. The Rollins, Jeff Hardy, AJ match. Problem is, we've seen AJ and Jeff fight so many times on SmackDowns recently that it Raw Tarded can only keep up so much.
Yeah, it was ugly tonight. I mean, it was.
That's what we're gonna get until after the draft.
Super Chat Party.
I know I'm the NXT guy, but 2 matches tonight: Garza versus Andrade and Alexander versus Ricochet. Imagine those in NXT. How does Raw make that bad? Kill me.
Well, I don't really understand the Garza thing. I can't tell if they worked us the other week. He got a cramp, like I actually said. I thought maybe it was a cramp that night, or is it a hamstring pull? Because the only things I could think that would allow him to compete is a slight hamstring tweak, in which they looked, they even X-rayed or whatever, and then they felt around and they said, "Dude, yeah, you know what? You just kind of tweaked your hamstring a little bit," and that way he was able to go out there taped up and kind of put on a story match, because that's what this was.
He did have the tape around his thigh, so
yeah, it looked like a story match. Like, okay, I can go out there and do a little bit, and so we can progress a story, and I'll be ready to go in another week or 2 weeks. And the doctor said that.
Why it was a 2-minute 30-second match,
Right? Well, dude, exactly. So I think he is hurt. Or he did get hurt, but it was a tweak. The only thing that would hurt you that bad that you couldn't go on would be a slight hamstring pull or some kind of muscle pull, or a Charlie horse, some kind of
severe cramp, or he could have been dehydrated and his muscles could have atrophied. That kind of stuff does happen. So
right, that's the only thing I can think.
Depending on where too, that can be extremely painful.
Yeah, and either way, I've had a cramp before in a match where I'm like, dude, I can't move, and in fact, I think my leg's about to rip, my muscle's about to roll up or rip out of my body, and it's actually throwing you the other way, and you're falling on the ground, and you're like begging someone to step on you, and
everybody's gotten an awful Charlie horse during sex that just completely kills your
your
erection or the moment.
Yeah, you're like thrusting in there, and then all of a sudden it feels like someone's stabbing you. And you're like, oh my God.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. You got to do more stretching.
Nothing's worse.
But it could have been it could have been some kind of hamstring thing, I don't know why they would have worked that.
I don't think they did. I think they just lucked out that it was a injury.
He's so lucky,
I don't
man.
think they intended to work.
The only other thing,
he is very lucky because it looked more severe.
It did. The only other thing could have been that there was something else wrong and they're going to fix it. But he won, though, tonight. Right?
Yeah. I was surprised that he got the clean finish being injured, or, air quotes, injured, and that it was Andrade as well. It was. I
had the
interesting.
I was talking with one of my kids at the time, and I missed it. What was Zelina Vega doing? She's deciding where she's going to go?
She just went into the ring to check on Andrade. She said she was out there because she was done with them, and then I don't know. It just kind of went back and forth, but she just basically said that she was focusing on herself. But then she went to check on Andrade afterwards, anyways, and that's when the Fiend came out with Alexa and attacked them both. So
wow, okay, yeah. Well, Spaz Phoenix is the top donation right now. We'll throw him up on the screen, and I hit you up on Twitter, Spaz. By the way. Keep a hard one. So Spaz Phoenix, thanks, man. There he is. And let's see what's going on with everybody else.
What else we got? Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it. The bubbly from the goon.
Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Lars busted a load when Steph announced him to SmackDown. Due to Trump being quarantined, Retribution lacked the motivation to protest against the dark business tonight. The donators won't be silenced. The greater goon will tear through your anarchy.
The greater goon. Yo, what's up, goon? Thank you for making an appearance, man. and for donating the $3 goon. What's up, dude? Thank you guys for the donations. Appreciate it. And for keeping the show on the air, the goon.
The only other positive to me personally tonight was seeing Ricochet, feign being hit with the chair and pretending to faint. He puts his hand over his head, all dramatic, and falls to the ground, and the ref calls it, a bit of a Eddie Guerrero type style. And it leads to a proper disqualification in storyline that makes sense because now he gets to move on from the Hurt Business. They're not going to go after him anymore. He doesn't, if he lost, he was going to have to join them, and that's not what he wanted. So it shows a face being smart and, a little bit inventive at the same time and surveying his options. I like that. Shows a bit of character development on his part.
Somebody was obviously watching Eddie Guerrero birthday videos on Twitter this week.
Yeah. So
happy birthday.
Is too coincidental.
Eddie Guerrero, probably in my
could have just been a nod and a wink from Ricochet. We never know, but
yeah, no,
could have been
fine. I've seen it a million times, but
tribute to Eddie, but you never know. But either way, to me, I actually chuckled. It worked for a match that I wasn't into. It made me,
dude. What I loved
that was pretty creative.
What I really loved tonight was not that, but I loved the Aleister Black sweep kick, or whatever of Owens into the chair when he was coming off the rope and he sweeped him and then he fucking flew over his foot and then fell into the chair head first. I thought that was fucking awesome. I've never seen that. I was like, wow.
No, that's not something I've seen either. And like I said, too, the Meteor through the chairs was really impressive. And especially to get some good action after a pretty bland intro, I was all about it.
Yeah, I
didn't care for anything that Orton had to say. I was hoping that Retribution would open the show. We didn't get that. We heard Orton's music, and I'm like, this is going to be slow.
Yeah.
And it was.
Yeah, Orton
went ahead and just he didn't speak for himself. He just recapped everything we saw in the.
He's in cruise control. He's in gotta get Orton on TV cruise control mode is what's going on with Orton.
Bingo. That's
like,
exactly.
Yeah, let's put him. We gotta. Dude, I'm sorry. I'm laughing in my head. I just thought, dude, I heard the most savage fucking. This has nothing to do with wrestling, but I heard the most savage, like, commercial or plug for like a product by a podcaster earlier today. Or like a little while ago, it was fucking hilarious. Like the funniest goddamn thing. And if anybody else that heard it or listens to this guy and heard it, I'll blow you in the chat if you know who I'm talking about. I'm going to say it now and later on I'm going to play it because it's so funny you guys deserve to hear it. But the guy basically was plugging a fucking cereal, right? And as he's plugging the cereal, he's a comedian, right? Obviously. And I started listening to him because I'm like, man, I got the same type of thoughts in my head as this guy. Like, I love this guy. And kind of like Bill Burr, too, and stuff like that. But I was like, he's plugging his cereal, and then he goes, oh, now that I eat the cereal, I'm not a cannibal anymore. I used to be a cannibal. I used to fucking eat people and shit. And then he started joking about how he used to eat people's flesh and all this other stuff, and he kills people. And then he started joking about how the police let him go because he's white. And then he started joking about how it's the #1 cereal endorsed by the police. And it's like the funniest fucking plug ever because it just goes off the rails as he's fucking plugging this cereal, dude. And I'm like, imagine the people, the sponsor, like hearing the fucking hearing this guy's plugging. They're like, get creative with it, do whatever. People love that. Like, oh yeah, well, I said I fucking used to kill people and eat them, and your cereal's #1 endorsed by the cops right now. It's fucking hilarious, dude. If anybody knows what I'm talking about, like, and you listen to this guy, you heard this and you fucking laughed. You know you did. Just like when you heard that fucking Nancy Kerrigan was hit with a pipe, you laughed too. But no, it was really funny. In 9/11, a lot of people laughed. Obviously, a lot of people were sad, but there were some people in Idaho who were fucking laughing their asses off because they don't believe in New York. But anyway, back to the show. Where were we on the show? We'll talk about it later if anybody gets it. I did hear the Mike Tyson podcast, but it's not that. It's not from Mike Tyson. It's from a different guy. But if you do listen to Tyson, I definitely recommend the audio version of Hotboxing with Tyson only, because the video always distracts me. Tyson's always looking over like he's like, I can never tell with Mike Tyson, but he's kind of like, you ever been around a dog who fucking, like a dog that will like just like like maybe you don't know if the dog's gonna bite you or eat you or something like that. Mike Tyson like has that fucking venomous look. Like you can't tell if he likes somebody, if he's thinking about fucking somebody, or thinking about just knocking somebody out. He's got this look like I love Mike Tyson, but he's got this look that's like fucking, whatever. And he's staring at Ken Shamrock like that, and he's eating peanuts or nuts or something. The whole fucking podcast, the whole fucking comment section is, Mike, stop eating fucking peanuts on your show, dude. Ken Shamrock was wicked entertaining. This was like a really good podcast. And half the fucking thing is Mike Tyson like, oh, yeah, man, God. I know what you mean, man. I remember him. He was like a fucking asshole. I remember. But you don't want to see, you can't say anything to Mike. You can't tell him like, hey, Mike, man, put the peanuts down, bro. I'm on your podcast. Or, Mike, don't stop looking at your phone. I'm on your podcast. But if you listen to the audio version, there's no comments. You don't see any of this. So you wouldn't even know this is going on. You'd just be like, wow, what a great fucking podcast. But if you're watching the video version, it's like every fucking 10 minutes or something like that, Mike Tyson's like, let me just scroll right there. And then he's like, let me eat these fucking nuts. And you're like, oh, I can't, like, oh my God, just listen to the audio. Just fucking listen to the audio. Hit the like button down below. And if you're listening to this, you need to become a patron because I did about 40 minutes of this on Patreon today, and you don't want to fucking miss it. Anyway, nobody has gotten this answer, so apparently nobody else heard this podcast. So I really should have just stole these jokes and done it on my show. I should have just cut this promo on my fucking show and just said I came up with it. It's funny. Huh. Well, anyway, whatever. I'll play it later. You guys will laugh at this guy, I promise you, because he's similar humor to, like, my type of humor, Bill Burr type of humor, / his own humor and somebody else's humor all rolled into a gay pile of shit. Okay, Jake, I'm sorry. Take us back to... Well, wait a minute. Before you do, Jake, let's go. We got to pay the bills. One more pay the bill. Because I need to eat. I really need to eat this week, and I really need to eat. I had a lot of bills this week. A lot of stuff came up. It just was this week was just a drain. Do you know when you pay a bunch of bills and then there's another one that you didn't know about, and then there's an unexpected one, and then someone calls you? Oh, yeah. It was going on all week. I'm not talking about you because I know you had some kind of issue too, but
I get
just everybody that could.
You think you're all set, and once you finally catch up, and you turn around, you're like, uh-oh.
Anybody and everybody who could have hit me up for, like, you owe me this, or I need help, or could you loan me, or it all happened in the last 3 days. It was fucking hilarious. I was like, wow, this is crazy. Like, I'm not talking about you even. I'm talking about, like, some other just crazy shit that you wouldn't believe that I haven't talked to you about yet. But it's really funny. And it's like, I'm like, oh my God, dude. I'm like, I had to tell someone, I'm like, dude, I don't know what you think, but I don't have any fucking money. Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what you're considering, but I'm not buying you another mask.
Yeah, it was, yes, exactly like that. And I told one of them, I said, yeah, you do a show that gets about 50 patrons to sign up, and maybe, if it's for $2 each, we'll have enough money for that. Otherwise, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. But I got 3 kids and there's a pandemic and shit sucks. It was really fucking hilarious, but it was a weird day.
My name is Ryback.
Oh shit.
Cryback. Give me some more money. My name's Ryback. Money. My name is fucking Ryback. Give me some more money. Money is my crack. My name's Ryback.
I am gonna finish it. You wanna fuck with me? I will finish you.
Lana gets launched through a table for the 4th straight week. Then Vince decides to make her the #1 contender when she straight up sucks. Watch her and Asuka's match be a TLC match. 3/10 fuck Vince and fuck Bill Goldberg.
Yeah, explain this to me. Please explain this to me.
I wish I knew. I tweeted out. I even was joking around saying, like, oh, see that? 4th week in a row that Vince went ahead and sent his FU to Rusev. And then I had to tweet out, looks like I spoke too soon because now she's the #1 contender. Can someone explain this to me? I was set on Eva Marie coming through, and then we had the Final 4, and I'm like, as long as it's not Natalya, this is interesting. Oh, look at that. It is going to be Natalya. That's terrible. Oh, wait.
Do you think that the Eva Marie stuff leaked? Vince pulled the plug, gave it to Lana, who you never see coming, so that they can beat the shit out of her in a TLC match, and then have Eva Marie interfere and show up?
Yeah, try and subvert expectations, because literally everybody and their mother, myself included, was saying that it seems like she's appearing today. Some people had confirmed it. I had kept saying, this is what we're hearing, but
I'm going to confirm something right now. It's me, Ryback. I swear to God, I am going to confirm something right now. Shell shock. Yeah, you think it's a game? Joe, I'm going to come on your fucking podcast and I'm going to break your neck. And after I break your neck, you're going to go on Amazon. Yeah, you're going to go on Amazon. You're going to buy my Ryback Fat Burner. Fat Body Extreme Burner. And then you're going to throw up shell shock.
All right, Ryback. Please just
Ryback.
Please shut up, Ryback.
Jesus.
Please shut the fuck up.
Yeah, because Marie said, I'm looking forward to Raw tonight and got everybody going too. So she was trolling a bit, it seems. But
yeah, I don't understand this. Soundwave 92, $40 bomb. Thank you, Soundwave 92.
That donator of the night there.
Yeah, that's top.
Damn.
Put him on the board here. Put him on the board.
The seventh and final round, which we had sent to us by a few people on Twitter and in the YouTube chat. Thank you all. The first pick in round 7 is Lana going to Raw. Natalya is then going to SmackDown. Riddick Moss is going to Raw. The Riot Squad is going to SmackDown. And lastly, on Raw is Arturo Ruas.
What?
They didn't draft Aleister Black. I know there's a few other names that they didn't draft yet either. So what are they doing? They're just letting these people, eventually they get to decide where they want to go, was the plan?
Did you just call me Rye Rape? Wait a minute. Wait a second. Wait a minute. Wait the fuck a minute. Did somebody in the chat just call me Rye Rape? I'll fucking sue you, okay? I will fucking sue you. Rye Rape, are you serious? Are you fucking serious in the chat right now?
Our chat is
really
too
pissing
tight.
me off.
I don't think anybody
You really
something like that.
No, but you're really making me mad right now, okay? You're really making me mad. You called me Rye Rape. I'm going to sue your chat. Joe, I'm going to sue you. I'm going to kill you. How about that? I'm going to fuck you like you're Pat Buck, all right? All right, Rye Rape.
Oh, my God.
Rye Rape, I'm going to fucking rape myself right now. Listen to this. Yeah. Gurgle.
All right, Ryback. Please.
No one even said
please stop
yet.
this.
My God.
Get the hell out of here, man. Come on, Rytard. All right, get out of here, Rytard. Seriously. Rytard, get out of my room. Get out of my office right now. Get out of here.
Did you just call me Rytard? Oh, I'm coming again.
Stop it. Stop it.
Jesus, Ryback.
Leah, get down here and fucking fuck him or something. I'm going to have my wife come take care of him. Hold on a minute. Oh, what? I'm sorry, Leah. He left. He's on crack. What? I gotta go help Leah with Rytard. I'll be right back.
Alrighty, well, Joe goes ahead and helps get rid of Ryback from the house. We'll go ahead and break down Raw from the start. As we said, Orton's out there being boring Randy Orton, just kind of spitting out the usual dribble. Hell in a Cell's coming up, and he's going to take the title by hitting him with the RKO. And as he's trying to finish those infamous letters, McIntyre's music hits. He comes down onto the stage, says that I made a promise. I'm going to kick the crap out of you whenever we're in the same building, and I don't want to break that promise. He enters the ring and starts to just beat the snot out of him, throws him to ringside, tries to put him through the table. Orton ends up back in the ring and then is able to escape. He climbs out the ring and gets out the other side and heads up the stage and out the ramp. So I was kind of hoping McIntyre just chased him into the back, especially after last week. That was one of the things that I really enjoyed with McIntyre. I wanted to go ahead and see him continue that, no invisible force field. There's no impenetrable walls. I'm not going to stop. So long as I get the hands continually on you, I'll be happy. That's what I wanted to see, that intense, no F's given kind of attitude. Because we didn't see referees or trainers or anybody come out to break anybody up tonight. We didn't have that. So there was no reason for him to stop the assault. Just because Orton got a little bit of distance, he could close that gap and go ahead and run him down.
Oh, my God.
It's frustrating. I don't understand why they do that.
Dude, he tried to touch Leah, and then he just bolted through the door and just ran down the street running rape. Yelling rape. He was yelling rape. Through my neighborhood, dude. We're supposed to do a signing tomorrow. I told everybody in my neighborhood, and I made the mistake of putting the Facebook ad out that I'm friends with a former wrestler, and everybody's going to get an autograph, and he was doing it for free, and everybody was so excited, and people remembered him. And now
You
it's
were
like
having that pandemic block party. He was the special guest, and now you're not even going to get.
now he's running through the neighborhood yelling rape through my neighborhood, and they're going to know it's me that brought him here. Great.
Is he streaking?
I mean, he doesn't have a shirt on. It's not. I mean, you lose the pants, and that's it. So
that's bad enough.
I'm sorry, but I'm.
Maybe if you go out back and yell Grundle a few times, he'll come back.
Maybe if I take a picture of my taint and I'll text it to him and he'll come back.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Want some bubbly? Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Trasher takes up all the roster space on SmackDown. On Raw, the hair flip gimmick Mrs. Ford bitch takes out fucking Baszler. Man, when they hire new guys, they need to hand out black Sharpies and tell them if you want to push, you know what to do.
Oh my god! Write BLM on their bodies or something. Is that what you're saying? Good God, Hunter, thank you for that donation. I think if maybe we were having like old times where the donos were just flying off the charts, probably would block that name. But to be honest, I need it right now. So racism is accepted right now. Thanks.
Super chat. We'll just use it as a talking point.
Real question, we married woman flirting with Lars.
Real question, married woman flirting with Lars. Yeah, exactly. It's just, dude, these women are all hoes, all right? And I don't care if Lars is a scumbag. He's on TV, he's an actor. I don't give a shit what he does on Instagram. I don't care. As long as he's not talking to, like, little boys under, like, 16 or something, or 18 or whatever the fucking age is. As long as he ain't talking to boys, like prepubescent boys and teenagers, I don't give a shit what he does. And the woman that all leaked this that was like, it's like, dude, I hope you get hit by a fucking bus. All right? I hope you're out tomorrow shopping and you get hit by a goddamn bus. Okay, and you get run over. That's what I hope happens. Rye dick. Who was that? Was that Spaz? No, that was Eazy-E, I think. Or no, that was
Super Chat.
I don't know anymore.
Party.
Here's Spaz Phoenix.
Main roster big returns were Elias and Sullivan, and NXT returns were Storm and Moon. We win LOL. And I wouldn't mind eating Ember's Moon either.
And there was the Goon before that donation.
Oh, the Goon, thank you. Yeah, I mean, Spaz, I don't really get excited for anything anymore. I don't get that excited for NXT. I don't get that excited for the main roster. The only show that really excites me is AEW, because I know that even if they do some terrible things and bad things, I know that I'm gonna at least be like, ooh, what's gonna happen? It's only once a week.
Yeah, there's that for weekly shows, and I really do always look forward to whatever NXT puts on for special presentations.
Yeah, sometimes
if it's over or no matter what, even if it's not the best lineup, I still find myself.
No, takeovers are great. But the weekly show, No,
I'm talking about like when they put on like Worlds Collide, any of the special network stuff, like takeovers, Worlds Collide,
the only
things of that nature.
The only dud I felt like they ever had was the In Your House. That was kind of a dud. Like, it was a nice theme though, and that's what was fun about it. But it was kind of a dud overall.
They had another takeover that we weren't too high on. It was still okay.
Yeah, they've had 5
takeover standards.
They've had 5 kind of subpar takeovers, but they've all of them were better than a Raw. I think so. I don't know. Like
I mean, I wish WWE would take a page like D. Welsh brought up, and because there's tons of people that have characters that could be developing more backstage and in vignettes and things like that. You don't want to put it on the show. You have the network, you have all these opportunities. We've said it time and time again, but they don't utilize the platforms that they have. No, they bring their wrestlers onto Raw Talk, or they bring them onto, The Bump and things like that. So they still have to be their robotic selves as they answer predetermined questions. You're not learning more about them, their motivations, why they are what they are, and you don't get a better personal connection. But
why not do some of that on the Raw show since there's no audience? Why not do some of these like recorded cool segments and hot take things on Raw? Like
I'm telling you, but that's one of the reasons. Like I've more so, especially during the COVID times, have enjoyed BTE because it's a whole nother story. Obviously you're not getting the wrestling matches, but you're getting everything else, and it continues week to week. It makes sense. It's pretty linear, so there's always a continuation of what's going on before. So even if the wrestling show doesn't have that, at least they do, and they're filling in the gaps in between. I wish WWE would do that. One of the best things we saw that I really, really enjoyed last year was Lio Rush putting out those little 4 or 5 minute videos with him and Bobby Lashley from the back. They were so good and so effective, and it told such a really compelling, interesting story. They didn't show it on Raw at all, and I don't know why. It was such a great dynamic between the two that could have been easily conveyed on television, but they don't try. They don't bother.
Super chat's coming. Oh, no, sorry. I just felt like being weird. What was there anything else we missed? There's more that we missed, I think, from Raw. But
I was kind of going through it quick here. Let's see. So
there
first
really
match
wasn't
we talked
a
about
lot.
that was really good.
Oh, Stephanie McMahon opened the night, and I feel like did we brush over it kind of or not talk about it or?
I was getting there with that. So round 1, we had The Fiend going to Raw, Bayley to SmackDown, Raw, Street Profits to SmackDown, as we knew, and Charlotte Flair to Raw. So Becky Lynch still wasn't drafted. I mean, we don't know if she's even coming back, but that's another name that's in the list. Then we had the Kevin Owens Aleister Black match. I didn't mind Stephanie just being out there to announce the drafts on Friday and tonight.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Initially, I saw her up and I was like, but because they're not using her as a representative of Raw and SmackDown, and she's just announcing the draft, and she's not going to, hopefully continue past that with any type of.
She doesn't care.
Role.
She's just there like I'm the presenter, and that's
she's just
I don't care.
That's it. So it works well in that regard. I thought she did a good job.
Yeah, I thought she was fine. I thought it was all right too. They even gave her boos. I don't know if you noticed that, but I mean, unless those people were really booing her, they seemingly gave her boos.
Yeah, it sounded.
I thought I heard boos. I was like, did they give her boos? So they went with they anticipated what the people were gonna do and gave her boos. She didn't get cheers. She came out and I heard kind of like a I was like, what the fuck? They gave her boos. That's hilarious.
We had Braun Strowman, Matt Riddle, and Jeff Hardy to Raw, Daniel Bryan and Kevin Owens to SmackDown. Daniel Bryan, I figured, would stay on SmackDown because they need more faces over there. Mm-hmm. Braun's pretty much already been on Raw for the past few weeks. Jeff is a good choice to bring over, and Matt, could be interesting on Raw's side. So that's okay. We had the Miz TV segment there. We already talked about Natalya and Lana came out to interrupt Mandy and Dana Brooke. Was not good in the very beginning. It's not to. I thought that honestly, Mandy did a decent job. The Miz and Morrison are usually pretty entertaining, but as a whole, and especially from when Natalya and Lana came out, it fell apart there. And it was weird for them to be there when they came back from the commercial break. We know it was only to have them beaten down. That was the point, but it was weird to continue the segment after the commercial. I thought that was a weird pacing issue as well.
Yeah, there was a couple of those, I think. Wasn't there? Wasn't there 2 times or so when it was that happened during the Jeff Hardy AJ Styles match fight that turned into a triple threat, right? Because it was they started fighting and then we came back and it was a match. Isn't that what happened with that too?
Yeah. Yeah, that
it could have been me.
They were all talking and then.
Yeah, because it was just such a long segment that's what.
Hardy happened. Hits the poetry in motion and then he dives on to AJ, and then when we come back from a commercial, it's like, oh, there's the match.
Why not have who came out last? AJ? Was AJ the last guy to come out of all 3 of those guys? Yeah, it was AJ, right? First Jeff Hardy came out.
Yeah.
Whoever the last one to come out was. AJ.
AJ was the last one to come out.
Why not have him come out?
Jeff Owens first, then Jeff Hardy interrupted Seth, and then that's when AJ came out.
Why not cut to a commercial there? Oh, they're all yelling and jawing at each other, and this guy just came out, and then
AJ's making his way to the ring now. What's he got to say? Come back and find out.
Exactly.
The rest of that in the match.
As he's walking towards the ring, Michael Cole's like, well, guys, we got to take a commercial break. We didn't expect something like this to happen. We'll be back with whatever is going on here. And then you're like, oh, what's going to happen?
For the season premiere of SmackDown. And then they went back from commercials into the match. So it was very jarring.
Yeah, just bad. Just bad, not exciting TV. It actually keeps you watching the commercials too a little bit because someone will be like, "Oh, I want to know what happens," and I
don't want to tune away because I don't want to miss what happens at the beginning of the end of the ad break.
Yeah, and it's just logical to do things like that. I don't those. Just seem like no brainers to me. If I was in TV, I'd be like, if I was working there in any capacity, as the director or anything, I would have said, well, no, we're going to have him come down and people go, oh my God, why is he here? And what's happening next? And now tune away. Don't tell everybody what's happening next. And then it happens. You know what I mean? Make everyone wonder what the hell is happening next. And then when you come back, there's the answer. And then it happens. Now you're delivering on a fucking tease. What the fuck is the point in, like, they think the other way. They think that telling you what's going to happen and then coming back with it. No, that's not right. Unless
you need a continuation, a cliffhanger, to be continued. That's what we want to see.
They think that's the
justification.
They think that's the to be continued. It's like, no, that's not the to be continued. If I go,
knowing what's coming is not helping.
I got something huge that I'm going to say next. And let me tell you what that is. It's about Jake DeMarco's future. And in fact, Jake DeMarco is going to be leaving the show. And he's going to be doing this. And the reason why, well, we'll talk about that in a little bit. That's a teaser.
That's too much of a cliffhanger.
Yeah, like, it's like, what?
Like, well, Jake's fired, and we're going to tell you why right now. And then they go to commercial. It's like, why?
Yeah.
There's no intrigue left. There's no wonder. There's no what if.
The second commercial is that. The first commercial is, guys, I got to tell you about it. Someone's leaving the show, and it's a big deal, and we'll talk about it when I get back. That's the cliffhanger. Now you come back, then you say, it's Jake, and here's what's going on.
No.
And then you go, I got more on that, by the way, and I have some more reasons why, and some other information, and we'll talk about that after this break. And then
now you've already engaged your audience, so they're going to stay tuned to see the conclusion more than likely.
These people
you've earned their view time.
It's like they don't know TV, or they don't care, or they have some other reason for doing that. I don't know. But they're literally doing a show, and there's no crowd even there. So it's like, how can you not figure this out better? How do you not think about this psychologically from a viewer standpoint and think, well, people are going to watch more commercials. The commercials are going to get more views. More people are going to stay. More people are going to be around. You know what I mean? And then the delivery is, okay, now we know what's happening, and now hopefully the match is good. But now it's like, oh, we already know what's happening. The match has started, and now we go to commercial. It feels like you were cut off, like your balls are chopped off. I don't understand it at all.
It's very jarring, and it's uncomfortable, and it feels like you missed something in between.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then on top of it, throwing more logic out the window, they went ahead and you had Adam Pearce in the back meet up with the New Day and the Street Profits, and he's like, oh, just trade belts, just swap.
Oh, my God, dude. I mean, those belts are worth nothing anyway.
I know they're meaningless, really, realistically, but you buried the tag belts by being like, it doesn't matter if you're the Raw champion, you've been keeping track of how many days that you've been the champion and all that stuff. Just trade the belts, whatever.
Just trade the belts off.
I was like, oh my God, maybe in the back of my mind, I saw a glimmer of hope. I'm like, maybe they're going to try and unify the titles here. They're talking with them.
That's what I thought. I thought that.
I got desperate, and it failed me, but what a disappointing blow just to see them trade the titles. And they tried to make, I think it was Dawkins, be like, oh, I named my belt, whatever he named it. And, this is important to me. But even that, it's not enough. Just to be able to toss them over to the other side. You still could have called them the SmackDown Tag Team titles. Just change the color, like you did it with the Universal title.
I
went from red to blue.
Dude, when I saw them just change the title, it's like, hey, let's swap titles. I don't know. I actually fucking laughed out loud. I was sitting here laughing. I wish that's another one of those times where I really wish that you guys, that I was live reacting, because I was in a
Here's
fucking...
your belt exchange. Get your belt exchange.
I was in a mental breakdown laugh that you would have laughed about.
What else we got? Oh,
a
little bit of the bubbly. That's it. That's it. Bubbly? Look at this stuff.
Alexa,
a little bit of the bubbly. That's it.
Andrade was 5th pick last year, doesn't get drafted, but fucking
What?
Titus did, who never wrestles, WTF.
He was 5th pick last year.
Because why would they not draft Andrade? Why would they not, I understand certain people after the draft can choose where they want to go, but still, why would you want Titus over Andrade or Alistair or, so many other names here? Come on.
Yeah, I don't understand Titus getting drafted at all. I feel like he's a guy that wouldn't be drafted whatsoever because he doesn't do anything but go to schools and stuff, which is good. But in the storyline of real wrestling, there's
He's not wrestling.
Yeah, where's R-Truth? Has he been drafted?
Yes, he was drafted to Raw. Stephanie
Okay.
made sure to say the 40-something time 24/7 champion.
Because he'd be sought after too, because like he's a lot of screen time, a lot of things happen with him. Titus O'Neil. I mean, come on, I like Titus, but it's like what? He's like one of the guys that should be drafted afterwards when you don't even like later on. All these other people were moved as well or stayed the same. Oh, Titus was drafted to Raw.
What else we got?
Oh,
a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Want some bubbly? Look at this stuff.
Oh my God.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Jesus. Well, that's not going to make it past the censors. But thank you, racist donator, for the donation.
And like Brian said too,
else
Mickey's
we
mad
got?
because she's not
a
drafted.
little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Want
That's
some
it.
bubbly? Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
I was pissed when I thought Natyla won. She is boring and lame as fuck. Ricochet was picked pretty high in draft, so you think they might re-push him?
Somebody drop $100 so I can ban that guy. Easy, I was pissed when I thought Natalya won. She is boring and lame. Ricochet was picked pretty high in draft, so you think they might repush him. Easy. I don't know why Ricochet was never just continuously kind of pushed as, the high-flying, fun, middle-card guy who can have these good matches with people and see what happens and just keep going with him. No, he doesn't have to be Superman pushed. Like, he kind of was a little Superman pushed at one point. I don't think he needed that, but, but not buried like he kind of was for a little while. Let the guy go out there and, win 70% of the time maybe or 60% and let him have these great matches with people. He's had such good matches and he has the ability to do that. So that's what I want to see from Ricochet. Ricochet going out there and just having these quick little match things and then being this subpar guy is a waste of Ricochet. Ricochet should be building and having these matches with people that are great. You know what I mean? Emphasize your strong points. What's Ricochet's strong point? Really good matches, probably. Especially ladder match type of things. So book him like that. Book him as a testing point, as a guy who is at a high level wrestling match-wise.
I can see he's a good mid-card champion,
Yeah, he's not great on the mic. He's whatever. He's just a nice guy who smiles and goes, man, I'm going to do the right thing. I'm Ricochet. Let's go out there. Let's kill it.
Not to say superheroes are real.
Don't do that
crap.
anymore, though. No more superheroes are real, though.
First pick of the third round on SmackDown. That's
Yeah.
pretty high, comparatively speaking. People, weren't even thought about till Monday, so that's a big night.
Right.
I didn't even know that there was a network exclusive announcement before Raw began, but Raw got Grand Metalik and Lince Dorado, so two of the Lucha House Party, and then SmackDown got Shorty G.
SmackDown got Shorty. Where's he been?
Yeah, now he's on SmackDown. We know that.
Haven't seen Shorty G in forever.
Yep, it's been a
Shorty
while.
G. Lars, how did you donate? Someone said.
Do.
Lars.
And WWE is staying at the Thunderdome a bit longer than expected. So originally they were going to be leaving Halloween, October 31st, but now they're staying at least 4 more weeks. So you figure that's all the way through November that we won't see fans in attendance for Raw or SmackDown or
Wow.
pay-per-views.
I'm kind of
NXT
surprised.
will continue having some small amount of fans in attendance, but no plans yet for WWE.
And
that's PW Insider. So
Jesus.
yeah, and then you hear backstage with.
All right. But what did you just say?
Just the fact that NXT staff are, wrestlers are getting very upset with there's some COVID deniers, basically they're saying in this article, and some of the NXT backstage, locker room is not happy with how the people are handling the COVID virus.
Oh wait, so people are mad. Wait, the WWE wrestlers are mad that WWE isn't doing enough, or they're mad.
According to Fightful Select, they're saying that many NXT superstars are uncomfortable about returning to the Performance Center for obvious reasons.
Oh, okay.
So initially they didn't want to go back because of how WWE handled the COVID issue. There was big outbreak because of how WWE was handling things at the Performance Center, and they felt that things were better at Full Sail. Now it seems that there is a growing frustration, it says here, with the roster because there's COVID truthers who aren't taking the situation seriously also on the roster. So I'm curious how that goes when there's 740,000 cases already in Florida up to this point.
Well, but are they? That's Fightful saying that, and they're SJW stupid idiots over there.
Yeah, that's why.
So but when they say COVID deniers, it really could just be that it's people who sort of don't take COVID as seriously as other people. So you're like, listen, dude, whatever. Let's just go out there and fucking whatever happens. It's like I know there's COVID's happening, but I don't really think it's as big a deal. So if people are saying that, I don't think those people are COVID deniers. But I just
they said COVID truthers was the quote here, and basically what the explanation is that it says that trainees or staffers who express discomfort about being basically having to wrestle right now, because Vince originally said it was told to the staff that if you don't feel comfortable, then you don't have to participate, and you wouldn't have it held against you. We heard that the only person you might have to explain it to is Vince. Well, now it's being said that that's being met with pushback. If anyone's uncomfortable or doesn't feel like this is being handled properly, if they say anything, they get a lot of pushback from people who subscribe to the idea that the pandemic isn't something you should worry about.
Yeah. I'm sure you're not
an issue.
I'm sure you're looked at as like you should probably be here. Roman Reigns is here, so
yeah. That's
but then why is Daniel Bryan get the 7 months off to be with his baby, and everybody else who has kids gets 7 or 8 months off for their kids because of COVID, but then you're there and maybe you have a family and older parents or something, and then you're in trouble for not, but you probably don't have the status of those guys. So basically it's about status. If you're anything that's not hugely high up, sorry, you're different. You better be there. Otherwise, fuck you. That's just the way it's always been. It's like an injury. It's like nagging injury stuff, or I need to have surgery, but they want me in these storylines, but the doctor said probably get the surgery, but you don't want to because you're involved in storylines. So you have to make a decision to just keep going until the fucking horse runs, the horseshoe falls off or whatever. I don't know. I think
that's usually most of.
But
the
also people are crybabies nowadays.
Well, that's why it says it noticed to say NXT. It said staff, trainees. So it seems like more of the new generation, because as you said, with the older generation, typically their mindset was even if your leg is broken in half, you continue wrestling until you're dead. So
yeah,
I don't imagine a lot of that outlook of I don't feel comfortable.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck you. You don't feel comfortable? Go the fuck home. I'm sure that the people behind the scenes are doing this, and I'm still convinced that Mark Carrano fuck is the one leaking everything. Still think that Carrano cocksucker.
I wonder as well, because it's logically that there's a lot of little points that add up there. Makes sense.
He's gonna get fired soon. I'm telling you, Mark Carrano is gonna get fired.
Hard to find other leaks and stop them. So I don't deny or doubt that he'll be in trouble at some point if this continues.
Damn, AJ Adams says a guy at my job got COVID last week. Now he's dead. Jesus, how old was he, AJ? That's crazy.
Yeah, it's terrible.
That's crazy. If that's, if he was old and had health issues, then okay. But if he was like a 45-year-old guy and he really didn't have that many problems and he's dead, that's kind of creepy. You hear about the 30-year-olds. I finally got
to hear back from a friend of mine on Sunday who's still sick. This is like 6 weeks into it.
Jesus. Yeah, man. I knew a guy fit as fuck, right? This guy's like fit, drinks all the energy things, whatever. Runs, athlete guy, and dude, that guy battled it for. It took him about 6 weeks, and he still feels weird. Like he still felt weird a couple weeks after. He's over it now completely, but for like 4 to 6 weeks, he was like, "Man, I'm fucked up."
Yeah, he was heading into a 6 week. And
dude,
still
did
had
you just
some
say?
symptoms.
Did you say he's? Oh, he's 25. Wow, damn. That's creepy. 25 years old. That's crazy. I hope he had fucking.
John that I was talking about, he works at Silver City, and he's 24, 25. He's young too. So,
It's
and then the
weird.
other guy that works there, that was his uncle that died that I was speaking of as well.
Yeah, but I mean, mostly still the numbers are the numbers. That still, it's kind of like.
Oh yeah, it's still very minimal chance that you'll get it, and if you do get it, it's even less of a chance that it'll be severe. Absolutely, it's just I forget I said it before, but it's like what flu. It's like, well, it's not the flu. It's worse than the flu. The flu, doesn't make it so you're sterile and can't have kids going forward.
Right. Yeah, man. It's kind of creepy. It's kind of weird. But I probably already had it. I don't know. Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. But yeah, if you don't like it, you stay home and you do what you want to do. And if you can deal with it, then you get out of there. If you got friends and family that are sick, you stay in and you try to shelter. But if you're somebody who doesn't really have to worry about any of that and you're trying to work and stuff, get out there and just, do your thing and be safe and whatever. Don't let the government control you, but, don't let people tell you can't take safety precautions either. Don't let anybody tell you anything. Don't let people try to brainwash you that you can't wear a mask. Don't let people try to brainwash you that you have to wear things. It's like, do what you want to do and do the right thing if you can, and try to respect everybody, and who gives a fuck. But it's like, but for WWE, yeah, there's probably a whole lot of different ideologies. There's probably some people there that are like, it's all bullshit. There's probably other people there that are like, well, yeah, it's here, but what are we going to do? Fuck it. Then there's probably other people that are like, you better wear a mask. So there's probably just all this these different ideologies are clashing with each other. And then you get WWE's ideology and theories and feelings and how they're going to execute their plans on how they feel about the pandemic, and we already know that they ain't worried about putting you at risk. WWE, when it comes down to it, is not worried about putting you at risk. And also, WWE has two different ideologies and mindsets. You got to remember that. There's I don't even know if they have an HR department, but I assume they do. And if
got, massive one, I'm sure. But
if they do, it's bullshit. I swear to God,
absolutely.
Well, because
we go in action.
Well, because it feels like there's a part of the office that the corporate side of WWE that sort of tells everybody, hey, we're going to come out with these things, and don't you worry, and if you don't feel safe, you let us know, or you let anybody know, and they're going to check, and we'll figure it out for you, and you won't be let out of your contract for this. But then there's Vince McMahon.
That's the public corporate side of things, and then the real corporate side is like getting us in here.
But then there's the real people running the show, like Vince and the people behind the scenes who are like, where the hell is he? What the hell's going on? And then they're like, well, he told obviously we had the office was telling people about if they don't feel safe, like you said or whatever, and they said they didn't feel safe and they want to go home for at least 6 weeks. I'm sure Vince is like, God damn it, yeah. You can have that corporate protective office side that's saying these things, but in the end, the guy in the back is still judging you.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
You better fucking decide what's
Choose
important.
wisely.
Yeah, is it more important to you to keep flying home or seeing people every second, or is it more important to stick around and then maybe you got to quarantine for 2 weeks before you see a family member again, or wait till the next time they don't use you? I don't know what the answer is.
That's the problem with some of them, they were saying, because they can't just go home and travel back to see loved ones, so they're just staying in Florida and basically being away. So, and because one of the other complaints was that because they don't know what they're doing ahead of time, most times, there's times where they've had to report to Raw or SmackDown, it said, and then all of a sudden, hey, it's 8:00 at night, we still don't have a script, and then I find out I'm not being used. So I've been here for hours already, and I don't have to report again till next week now. So I could have been home already for the past 10 days.
Jesus.
And that I get why that's frustrating. If you had a chance to fly home last Tuesday to see your family and not report back this week and have an extra week to stay home, I would be livid knowing that, now I showed up and you tell me, oh, just wait. And then hours later you say, wait, we don't need you. And
Yeah.
Welsh mentioned it before in the chat. I want to bring it up before it gets too far away. But the Florida Gators football, they're demanding to have 90,000 fans next weekend at the Swamp. That's insane.
Whoa.
I heard that earlier too, and I'm like, oh my God, that's a nightmare scenario, no?
That is, according to the numbers, was that 90,000 you said?
Yeah, 90,000 is what they wanted.
Okay, so 90,000. I'll tell you in a second. Hold on. 2,700. 2,700 times 9. So you're looking at, if those people go to that, 90,000 people go to the stadium, according to the numbers, that will result in 25,000. At least that should result in 25,000 cases of COVID on top of what they have now over the course of the next 2-3 weeks. Now, everybody write that down, and we'll see if that really happens. Maybe it doesn't happen. Maybe it will happen. I don't know. But write down 25,000. So look at the numbers in Florida. Is this Florida Gators, right? So look at the numbers in Florida this week. Look at the numbers in Florida last week, and look at the numbers in Florida the week before. And if the numbers next week and the week after that of COVID cases go up by 25 or more thousand, which is a lot, you're going to know probably that it may have came from that game, because they say people will infect 9 people. And so most likely 2,700 people could be asymptomatic coming into that arena if it's 90,000. Chances are 3,000 have it.
They had 7 people, I believe it was, show up, and it turned into 250,000 positive cases.
Oh, shit. Well, then see, it could be higher then. But they're outside and everything, so I don't know. But I don't know.
So was Sturgis, but they weren't wearing masks. I don't know if people here will wear masks. It's in Florida, so I doubt it. Maybe some will. But
get the hospital ready, bro.
Dan Mullen stands by the fact. He said he's brushing aside all criticism. He wants to pack the Swamp again.
All right. Well, we'll see. Hey.
I'm just shocked that WWE has not adapted a similar mindset yet.
Yeah, I can't believe
they're just avoiding blowback from fans to do so. They're worried because them expanding, as we said before, the tenure of the Thunderdome is surprising. I didn't think that they were going to stay longer than they already had.
Yeah, the fact that I'm shocked that there's not at least 100, 300, like at least 100 to 300 people in that arena. Why not? Why aren't they doing that? I don't know. Why not have sections of different areas? Even putting people in every different area and putting the microphones turned up a little bit and telling people, hey, please don't, swear, and those things will know who you are. We can kind of hear you. We got microphones on everything. We want you to cheer and clap and, things like that. But, the microphone will pick you up. We don't want to have to eject you. Things like that. And then put groups of people, families can be together. Families and friends that come in together can be together or whatever, up to 10 people or something. And whatever the fuck, whatever AEW is doing, and put them all in different areas. Why not have that? And you can even shine a light on the people. Like, you'd even shine a red, green light, blue light, red light, white light on those different groups, and then have the TVs around them still. You know what I mean? And kind of have this kind of mixed hybrid audience or crowd or whatever you want to call it, and just, do something. And I don't know. Yeah, with Florida opening up the way Florida is, I don't understand it. And maybe part of it is to, I don't know, like protect the wrestlers. I don't know, man. It's so weird. It's hard to say. I'll tell you. I will tell you that I am operating way less cautious than I used to.
Oh, I am as well. But Florida's had a spike the last.
We all have.
2 days.
Massachusetts is up. We're all up.
Florida went from 2,908 on the 9th to over 5,000 on the 11th, and it's continually going up. So,
right, it's going up everywhere. I mean, it's going up everywhere.
It's nothing compared to back in July when they had 10,000 a day. They're at half of their peak, but still, you figure the highest they've been was September 1st at 7,569. Since then, they've been even some days under 1,000. A couple hundred some days. So it's been very low, and then we hit yesterday, and we've got over 5,570 cases. So
we're still doing the same thing in Massachusetts, kind of like it did go up a little bit though. If you look, Massachusetts went up a little bit. Like we've been on this slow uptick, very slow though. Like it's sort of like we did hit a high of 754. Look at that. We had 700 people with it on October 1st, and that was the most we had since July. No, since May. We had the most people with COVID in Massachusetts since May the
And
other day.
Was that in May?
What was that?
Was it in May?
When was it in May?
No, how many? What was the peak for you guys?
Oh, you keep breaking up. The peak in May was like 4,000. Or no, that was June.
Okay, yeah, because Connecticut, the highest we've had is 2,100, and that was back in April.
Well,
so
the highest we really had was these 2 spikes, but these spikes were overcorrections or whatever. I don't even know if I believe those. They basically were like, oh, we had a bunch of cases we didn't add, so they added them in one day. So those don't really
they had
count.
That, and they also had people coming over to get tested from New York then too in April.
But deaths, and we have a good chunk of old people here in Massachusetts. But deaths are way down. In Massachusetts, they're way down. The day
you've got less than 10K. You've got 9,600. Connecticut has 4,500, and then Florida has 15,000. So
we're pretty much under 10 deaths mostly a day. I mean, it's pretty low. I mean, I don't, but I mean, it's not low. People are dying, but I just mean like we're way more stable or something. I don't know. It's weird, but Florida's fucking crazy. You know, so in Massachusetts, right, we're like super liberal. Everyone's trying to wear a mask for the most part. But there's also a lot of people here that don't believe in it, but they're wearing a mask anyway, just to whatever. They don't like it, but they're, oh, fuck, I'll wear the mask. Okay, whatever. But, you know, and you know, it's cold weather now. It's not like all sunshine, let's go to the beach and shit like that. So we got that too. And then, you know, with that, it's like, well, look at the deaths in Florida, though. And there's old people in Florida, so they obviously have more deaths. There's more people that are susceptible. Florida's just all over the place. They started where we are now. They went way up, went crazy like we did. Then they went down, but they're spiking up and down, and up and down, and up and down. And I mean, they got thousands every day. They're in the thousands every day. They're like Massachusetts, but in the thousands every day. Whereas we're in the, you know, under 600 a day usually, and they're above 1,000 every day. Like, what the fuck? So yeah, Florida's just kind of like, fuck it, we're gonna get it, and whatever. But Florida, you know, for a place with all old people, though, right? For a place with old people, 140,000 people have gotten it in Florida. I mean, according to the numbers, 9,600 people have died. That could be a lot worse. I mean, for the state
so much worse.
With the retirement homes and the nursing homes there, I mean, this could be so much worse than this. But there's definitely probably, but whatever. Anyway, we're spending too much time on it. But the bottom line is we're looking at it because it's interesting because WWE's in Florida, AEW's in Florida. How are these things going to work out? COVID's not. I mean, listen.
Are they going to start adding tons of fans at WWE sooner than later? I mean, it's just.
Yeah, I mean, no. If you're a doctor, I mean, you've never seen this many people die in front of you, like over and over again. You know, every flu season, yes, some old people come in, even some younger people come in every flu season, and people get really sick, and you're like, wow, this guy just has the flu, and we're like trying to keep him alive. That happens every flu season, and old people come in and die, and you do see a lot of older people die, and people who are sick die during flu season every year. That happens when you're a doctor and a nurse. But you've never seen this many people coming in at those ages with those compromised immune systems come in and die in front of you. So when people say it's not real, that's like you're literally a retard. You know what I mean? Like if you think the government caused it or people have caused it or whatever the fuck you want to say, that's fine. But the people that I see like that are like it's not real, like you're fucking retarded. Are some people, are we over exaggerating it and ruining the country because we're freaking out over it and we're ruining the country because we shut everything down? Yeah, like I think we're at this point, I think maybe we just gotta, it's one of those things like we gotta bite the bullet. Like this sucks. Like let's be careful, but we gotta open up. Like people's lives are ruined. It's gonna be way worse. So it's one of those things. Keep the people who are susceptible away. And if you're somebody who's a 20-year-old running around at beach parties, don't go fucking hug grandma and don't go to her house. So just be smart, be better, and wear a mask if you can, but don't fucking close down people's businesses like because all this shit, and we're just going to have to fucking, people are going to die. And that's what I think we've decided. A lot of people decided that. But it's like, dude, but why? You know, I don't know what to tell you about WWE wrestlers being upset about it. But I know that, yeah, people with kids at home and family members who are sick are probably not happy, but I don't know what to tell. I don't know what to do. I don't know what the answer is. And I don't think that they know what it is either, because it's COVID is bad enough that it's affecting a lot of people, and people's sickness, people's lives, people's family members are dying when they shouldn't be. It's killing more people than the flu, but it's not really as bad as what a crazier pandemic could have been. But it's super contagious and it's mutating and it's weird, but it's dude, I don't know, man. Then there's people that are dying who are in their 30s and stuff like that who shouldn't die.
Younger,
it's like
so previous conditions.
Yeah, like
nothing else really.
Weird DNA stuff that we don't know about. So like, dude, I don't know, man. I understand why people are scared, because every time you're like, it's just all old people, then somebody who's healthy dies of it, and you go, what the fuck?
I really got to get off this too, but pre-existing conditions are an interesting topic too, because sometimes, obviously I don't have asthma. Let's say I have asthma.
I've got asthma.
That's all I have. I get COVID and I die because the asthma, I'm not able to breathe properly and it shuts down everything, blah, blah, blah. So you can label it as, did the asthma kill him? Well, no, it's COVID that killed you. And then people argue, well, see, it's not a COVID death because he died from the asthma, but the COVID can trigger the asthmatic attack that, so it's tricky. The whole thing is very messy as far as trying to figure out definitely who died from COVID, who hasn't, because then you hear some people, the guy had a car accident, was labeled as a COVID.
You're right. Then there's the people being marked of COVID that didn't have COVID, or that maybe had it, but they wouldn't have, it didn't affect them.
They died from a car accident or an accident, or
it's really hard right now, man. You've got the left-wing people trying to say everyone's dying of it and it's the scariest thing ever. And then you've got the right-wing people like it's not real and fuck you. And like, so you got these two different extremes of people, just whatever. And the only thing I can tell you is I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. And I'm going to go back to wrestling now because I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. And I'm not telling anybody what to do. I'm just rambling about random thoughts right now because I don't fucking know.
WWE posted a quick little gif of Ricochet, hitting the ground with the chair, the ring mat, and then throwing it to Cedric. And Ricochet responded with a gif of Eddie Guerrero. So Eddie Gomes let us know that it was definitely an homage to Eddie.
Oh, well, I mean, every time you see it, even if it's not.
We knew it was, but we didn't know if it was something that, he was directly doing, or as you just
we saw the
earlier,
Eddie Guerrero memes all week during his birthday.
Yeah, during his weekend. But I don't know if it was also just to pay respect or if it was just because somebody saw that and said, hey, do this.
Yeah, I think they saw it and they were like, let's do that. I think that's what it was. Because it's coincidental. I mean, it's just a good idea to do. It's an old trick. It's not just Eddie Guerrero. It's an old trick, but it's like, but every time you do it, everyone's going to point to Eddie Guerrero. So there's nothing you can do about it. If you ever do it, it's going to be like, I think Eddie Guerrero immortalized it. You know what I mean? It's not, Eddie Guerrero wasn't the first guy to do that, but Eddie Guerrero immortalized that maneuver or whatever, that cheating. That was his thing. So, whenever you see that, you're immediately going to say, oh my God, Eddie Guerrero, or whatever. It's always going to be that way. Yeah, dude, it's Raw tonight was better than the last couple weeks only because we got a couple of good matches that were decent. I don't really think we got much of, there was the Alexa Bliss and Wyatt thing that was kind of cool. And then there was, I thought Lars Sullivan's thing was all right, but every time I say fucking that, my dot kicks on. Alexa, stop.
Yeah, I really like the opening match. As we said, I like the Bray Wyatt Alexa Bliss moment.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think. I believe. I laughed at. I said Ricochet's little chair,
hogger.
Eddie Guerrero thing, and his overacting was funny.
I like Ricochet's little hogger.
and his ass blasting expertise. Seth, Jeff, and AJ, their triple threat wasn't bad. As I said before, seeing Jeff and AJ so much, it kind of took me out of it a little bit, but I was like, all right, throwing Seth in there is a good choice. This will be his last time on Raw before he goes right back in the Dominic Mysterio, Rey Mysterio storyline. Yay. They confirmed that on SmackDown the other day that they're not done. Just what we need.
Right. They drafted somebody, I forget who said it, but somebody laughed in the chat and they said they drafted a whole storyline.
Yeah, we did. The whole storyline came right from Raw to SmackDown.
I would have found it way more.
It.
I would have been so much more interested if they had not have done that. Like if they had just drafted Seth.
Just wrap it up, or just have Seth go to SmackDown. Seth as a heel versus Roman as a heel at some point is got money written all over it. There's a lot of other feuds for him to be involved in, Seth, at this point in time.
Yep.
Him eventually going for another IC title run, even if they want to do that, could be really good with how strong the IC title picture has been. With that heel gimmick he has going on, getting away from the Ray storyline would have been a huge benefit.
Yeah, and everybody going to SmackDown is going to be better off because Raw is just going to be written horrible. So
Super chat.
Yeah. Okay. I like kids. Yeah.
yeah, I like kids. Yeah, I have a dot over my house, and I have a weird bracelet on my leg.
Chat party.
Spaz Phoenix, fuck you.
Asuka is gonna face Lana in a Hell in a Cell match, throw her off the cell to the table. Way to go, Rusev.
They're gonna ask her, "Hey, will you take a dive off this fucking cell?" Dude, they're gonna try to beat the shit out of Lana. They're gonna try to beat the fuck out
Your
of
match
Lana.
isn't in Hell in a Cell, but we're going to bring down the cell just so we can throw you through it. Are you cool with that? Just check.
Burn it down! Wow, I have no voice right now. That hurt. Yo, Spaz Phoenix, thanks for the $5 Canadian. Happy Thanksgiving to all the Canadians out there, by the way. Almost forgot about that. It's Monday. I think it was today, celebrated today, right? It was today or yesterday. Happy Thanksgiving to Canada.
That's right.
And it's Happy Indigenous Day, or whatever the fuck. Columbus Day here. Indigenous people. Are we going to wish the dinosaurs a happy birthday, too? Because they were here before anybody.
Here we go. About to get it, man. Here we go.
Here
we go. Oh,
Yo, Sith Neegan. What's up, brother?
No.
Reason Seth Rollins is on SmackDown? A backup opponent for Roman Reigns at WrestleMania in case The Rock is a no-go.
Yeah, it could be. But then, so then Seth is going to be a face? So, I don't know, man. I don't think anyone's going to buy that right now. In my opinion, Mosh Master D, OG, thanks for the $5, Mosh Master. In my opinion, man, like Seth would be a top mid-card guy. Because I think Seth should be in an intercontinental title match somewhere. I know that sounds like I'm demoting him, but I'm not. I just like him in that role. And I like Roman now in this main event as this fucking top heel guy. So they're solid there if that's where they go.
Super chat.
NXT needs to bring back KOTR next takeover.
NXT needs to bring back King of the Ring. Yeah, Wellington, that might not be a bad idea. Put King of the Ring in NXT. That would probably be much better than King of the Ring on the main roster.
In his dumpster fire.
Oh, shit. He's back.
Bask in his dumpster fire. His dumpster fire. Come and bask in his dumpster fire. His dumpster fire. Bask in his dumpster fire. His dumpster fire. Bask in his ass dumpster fire.
Draft sucked. Here's $12. Keep it up, good brother.
Oh, Sir Huggingtons, it's so good to hear from you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Thank you so much for the $12, Sir Huggington. As the fire that is a dumpster of Keith Lee's career comes streaming down. Thank you very much. $12, man, is a big shot for me tonight. I appreciate that, man. For having to watch this shit tonight, that it makes it all worth it. Dr. Huggington.
What else we got?
Thank you.
A little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Want some bubbly? Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
I remember calling in a couple years ago and talking to you about how I know Lars because he would see to my gym.
Right.
Not surprised about the story today. He would message girls at my gym weird shit all the time on Instagram saying how beautiful they were.
What the hell?
Robbie brought stuff like this up previously, too.
He did. He brought it up a year ago. Yeah. Robbie Hyde, thanks, man. Robbie, that's fucking weird. I guess he's a weirdo.
And he's always been odd. Just not a great person to see.
What else we got?
Wow.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Want some bubbly? Look at this stuff.
How long until he takes the kid
A little
home?
bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Slantai Tazawa got drafted with no fucking resume, so his graphic said leader of his own ninja clan instead of former counterweight champ. I think we need a different kind of clan.
Oh, God, Hunter. Oh, my God, Hunter. Hunter wants the clan in the WWE. Well, we got Antifa. We got BLM. Now we just need the Proud Boys, right? But you want the clan, right? You don't want the Proud Boys isn't really the leader of the Proud Boys is black, you know, or Cuban or something.
Give me a hell yeah!
You want the Klan.
Popcorn, wastebasket, clinking beer mugs, peach, devilish face, grimacing face, detective, police officer, romantic cat face, baby angel, poop, alien, skull, collision, mouth, speedy, sleepy, couple with...
Oh, I cut off emoji party. Fuck.
We were doing
That's the one time. I know that it cuts off spam, but emoji party is the one time where I wish it wouldn't cut off spam.
Give me a hell yeah!
'Cause that's hilarious.
Fuck JD from New York and fuck Joe Cronin for starting to become like him.
Oh, fuck
Joe
you.
used to criticize JD for getting mad at his fans for simply disagreeing with him in the chat. Now Joe does the same thing occasionally to people in his own chat.
Who?
Narcissists.
Who? Deb A's twat. I mean, I don't know what you're talking about. I haven't banned anybody in the chat. I don't know what you're talking about. That guy will ban 50 people a show. That guy will ban 100 people a show. I haven't banned anybody tonight.
A little bit of the
I
bubbly.
haven't banned 0 people tonight. What are you talking about?
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly. That's it.
The Kiwi King is here. Randy fucking Viper. I have a query. Since you are a cough drinker, is it normal for your shit to smell like coffee after drinking some? Well, sheet my nuggets.
I don't know. I mean, Randy Viper, thanks, man. I mean, sometimes it's weird because it smells like coffee or something, like shit coffee. I mean, I guess a little bit, but only, yeah, if you don't brush your teeth, like, I guess. I mean, coffee doesn't smell the greatest, right? It kind of, in your mouth. You mix coffee with your breath, it's kind of a weird smell. So, I mean, maybe. I'd probably, like, wash your mouth out with water after coffee to get the staining off, like, and then I'd probably brush your teeth. Yeah, use mouthwash, brush your teeth. Because the coffee mix with your mouth, it's like milk, too. Like, if you have milk and cream stays in your mouth and it starts to spoil. So, like, you're getting all this bacteria in your mouth. Yeah,
coffee is very strong usually, too. So it stains. And...
Yeah, I mean, and black coffee will stain. All coffee will stain. I drink black coffee a lot. So I see it more with the French vanilla type because the cream gets in your mouth. So you just wash your mouth out, you'll be all right. But that much, bro? I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know, man. Fucking... I don't know what that...
Lot.
It'd be good if that...
I need our own shitty in Philly with gritty. Yo, this whole city with gritty. Yo, we might eat our own shitty.
Yeah! Maybe you ate somebody's asshole out. Maybe that's what happened.
In the city of Philly, we eat shitty. We're gritty as can be. We can survive off our motherfucking own feces. In Philly, we're gritty. In Philly, we're gritty. In no city, we'll eat our own shitty. In Philly, that's why our mascot looks like a...
Didn't watch a second of Raw cause my Saints won in OT. I'm fucking drunk and wasted because of the game.
To play the game! Yeah, there was a nice Monday Night Football on, I suppose. So, Saints in overtime. Yo, nice. Cole, Alabama! Get hammered, brother! Drew Brees! Thank you, Cole, Alabama, for the Ocho.
You had a good night.
Yeah, I'm glad you had a good night. Definitely a good decision to watch that instead of Raw because Raw would have, you know, I mean, if you were like, I'm going to go watch Raw, what did I miss? What should I watch? I'd probably just tell you to watch that Aleister Black-Owens match and maybe the Jeff Hardy AJ stuff. And I don't know, man. That's it.
I would watch, probably go to YouTube and then watch the 3-minute highlights that they put up.
Right. Okay.
Best bet for Raw. Honestly, I wouldn't even turn it on this week.
Yeah.
I mean, I guarantee they'll showcase about 4 or 5 minutes of the best moments of the opening match. So then you'll get everything clear and concise there. I mean, you could watch the whole thing. It was
a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Want some bubbly? Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
No, Joe, my breath doesn't smell like coffee. My turd smells like coffee. I'm taking a dump and...
Oh, you're saying your shit smells like coffee.
I get it now. I thought you meant like, oh, does my breath smell like shit?
That's what I thought you said, yeah.
Your shit smells like coffee, then you're drinking a lot of coffee.
Yeah, I mean, I've never noticed that, but that's possible. It's that could
shit, but never coffee smelling shit.
Yeah, if you drank a lot of coffee and you weren't eating a lot of food, other food, or drinking a lot of other stuff, I could see that, but I'd never noticed that. I never noticed. And the other thing that's possible is that you're smelling coffee. Like, it's in your nostrils, so you're thinking you're smelling coffee in your shit. It's kind of gross, but... By the way, Randy Viper, do you know what he is, Jake?
What is he?
He's the king of the wheel.
Yeah, he's just able to get all those points on Monetize This.
He loaded up on Monetize This. Ladies and gentlemen, my Patreon is brought to you by Randy Viper.
Yeah, he got the 60,000 on that one rule.
Yeah, he got a crazy amount.
Yeah.
And we got to get his crown up here right now. I almost forgot to shut him out tonight. God, I got to shut him out all week long, and I almost forgot tonight. What am I doing? Monetize This Friday nights on Corrupted Nation, my other YouTube channel. Get over there every Friday.
He was a riot. I'm telling you.
Alejandro was a nut job. Dude, he admitted... I don't know if you didn't notice this, but Alejandro admitted to like 7 crimes
I said that to Drew right. I'm like, oh my God.
I looked into it. He did. He really did. I went back. He literally said, like,
did.
I only heard 3 of them, and when I came back, I said, as your lawyer, I'm gonna have to tell you, you need to be quiet right now, bro, because
you need to stop the story. I kept messaging Drew. I'm like, ask him if he's ever, I kept pushing questions.
That was the first time. I only stole his newspaper like a couple times, and then I gave him back a week later. Like, that's a federal crime. Did you know that? I used to kick that dog because it would always be in the way. Well, that's a federal crime now too. I mean, like, so many this guy admitted to so many crimes on Monetize This. It was unfucking believable. Oh my God, man. Well, anyway, guys, get over to Patreon if you haven't become a patron yet. Would love it if you did. You'll get all my podcasts, everything you don't hear on YouTube, so many rants and more. Me and Jake will have stuff this week. Randy Viper is the king. Patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. Don't forget to check it out. And shout out to Jay Swiss, who became a $5 patron. He went up to the $5 spot. And to Michael McAllister, became a $10 VIP. And when you go on to Patreon, you unlock thousands of my posts from the last 4 years. Everything. And you get to go through all of it and go look around at everything, download everything, save it all, whatever the fuck you want. Monetize this audio only so you can download it to your phone or download it to your computer, either way, so you don't have to watch it on YouTube with commercials or with whatever the fuck your data plan. It's audio of Monetize This. You get all the alerts when I'm live. Here's my rant about Bill Burr, the Lakers winning the NBA championship and tied with the Celtics. Joe Cronin goes off. 40 minutes. I went crazy on some people and some things. It was on Spotify. The full episode is here on Patreon. All my alerts to my videos, like me shitting on Marco Stunt. The alert that I did with the skit the other day about my mother calling. If you didn't hear that, that's over on Corrupted Nation. My favorite part is this part.
Moses, my wife hates over every day when I was at work, annoying the hell out of everybody.
It's about the flower garden, isn't it? I made it pretty.
You ripped up the chrysanthemums in the front lawn without telling anybody about it.
So that whole thing was kind of a hit the other day, so I appreciate you guys for watching that.
I swear to God, I'm going to fucking shoot myself.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to play for you what I promised at the beginning of the show. This guy cuts literally the funniest fucking advertisement promo I've ever heard. He's in the middle of his podcast, and then all of a sudden he's like, "All right, time to cut a sponsor, time to do a plug," and he goes into the plug, and this is what he says, and to me, this is fucking hilarious. Listen to this plug for MagicSpoon.com. This cereal brand that's made for like hippies, right?
It's carb free, right?
It's carb free.
Carb free cereal. I know there was a few bodybuilders talking about it.
I looked up all the CEO people that run the company. They're all like granola eating weirdos from Washington, like Daniel Bryan. Probably one of them's an Antifa member, right?
One of the podcasts I listen to, the guy is big into MMA and whatnot. And he's got another fight coming up, so he's training really hard, and he wanted to have cereal. That's one of the things he missed the most. So he got this cereal, and he said it's absolutely disgusting. It tastes like cardboard and like Lysol.
Listen, dude, I hit him up. I was talking to him like, dude, this was the funniest. He was laughing about it. This guy's a great guy, good guy, good friend. And dude, I was like, dude, that might have been the funniest fucking, like, you just didn't give a shit. You told a story about eating people. Like, you said the cops endorse it right now during a time when everybody hates the cops. And the people that make this cereal, one of them's probably an Antifa member, for Christ's sake. I looked at their fucking website. Listen to this fucking promo for a fucking cereal.
Been in 9 documentaries. Every store's a documentary. Things are not great. Magic Spoon cereal is a no-sugar, low-carb, keto cereal that fits into any diet plan. It replicates all the sugar cereals that you had as a kid, whether it be Fruity Pebbles, my favorite flavor, they have Fruity, whether it be Reese's Puffs, they have a peanut butter flavor. It's really, really good. Dan, my opener, loves the peanut butter flavor, because he's Florida trash. But still, I think it's very important, especially if you're on any type of diet, to be able to substitute a bowl of cereal for a meal replacement or a snack. It's very good. Magic Spoon is some of the healthy. Yes, it costs a little bit of money because they're using like monk fruit extract and really like expensive high-end ingredients to sweeten it so they don't have to use sugar. It doesn't kick you out of ketosis, doesn't fuck you up. And they also don't use these crazy sugar alcohols. It's really all natural. So it's really important that if you're making an investment, you're making an investment in your health. I love Magic Spoon cereal. You know, I feel like there are people that don't understand how much Magic Spoon has changed my life. You know, before Magic Spoon cereal, I was a cannibal. I've never even told you this. I used to eat people. I would eat the skin of a person. I would cook it and eat it. And it's uncomfortable to discuss this. And a few of those people I killed, hookers, and truckers, and I would cook them. And I would eat their flesh, which was keto, technically. Maybe not. I think it was. Some of them had sugar in their blood, probably. When I tried Magic Spoon cereal, I stopped doing that. I stopped murdering whores and eating them. And I started eating Magic Spoon cereal. And I went to the police and I confessed. And they refused to put me in jail. Because they said, hey, white guy.
Forgot to say Jake DeMarco looking sexy as always.
Randy Viper forgot to say stay sexy. Thank you, Randy Viper. Appreciate it, brother.
Thank you, baby.
Super kick from New Zealand. Thank you, Randy Viper. Here's some more of this.
I stopped murdering whores and eating them. And I started eating Magic Spoon cereal. And I went to the police and I confessed. And they refused to put me in jail because they said, hey, white guy. That's what they called me. I said, I just killed a bunch of whores and ate them. They said, hey, white guy. We all have moments in our life we're not proud of. They said, what made you stop that? I said, I'm eating a keto cereal, very low in sugar. And I shared it with them. We all ate Magic Spoon cereal.
Oh, like a powwow.
And they helped me. Magic Spoon cereal is the official cereal of the police. So if you support the cops, support Magic Spoon cereal. $1 from every box of Magic Spoon cereal is donated to Derek Chauvin's legal fund. Sometimes I do it just so we get the call.
That was the most fucking hilarious. I mean, I've heard a lot of I've fucking had some pitches before. But, yeah, thank God for Magic cereal because I used to cook whores, and it's endorsed by police.
That, good on them. Honest to God.
I don't think they did. I went to Magic fucking, I got to get these guys as a sponsor as well. I'd be like, listen, can I get you guys as a sponsor because I heard this one guy who used to eat people, and I eat people too, but it's different. I only eat dicks. Like, I kill people and eat penises only. And so I really think I should try Magic Spoon cereal.
It was keto for the keto diet that keeps you in ketoacidosis.
I don't know why, but they're out of Washington, and something about I think they're out of Washington is what I'm trying to say. And something about looking at the guys that run Magic Spoon, I just don't think that Kelly LeVeque, John Durant, or Katie Wells. I don't know why. I just don't think that any of these people enjoy people who kill people and now endorse the cops. I don't know what it is. But fucking hilarious. And that might have been the most savage fucking sponsorship I don't give a fuck that I've ever heard in my life. And so that was pretty fucking hilarious. So I wanted to share that with everybody because that fucking tickled my pickle earlier today. And I enjoyed that. Randy Viper, thank you, man.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Want some bubbly? Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Slept through the second half of Raw tonight. Ziggler looked like a Barbie. Someone should call Rude and Ziggler Ken and Barbie in a promo. That's not a bad idea, Diverse. That might be all right.
He's onto something there.
Diverse.
And even worse, we're going to SmackDown.
I'm going to eat my neighbors. Yeah, great. Go back there again.
Said, the Street Profits are running away. We wanted those titles from you, but you're running away to SmackDown. I'm like, yep, stay away from that feud. And then the Street Profits go to SmackDown, and so does Dolph and Rude. Oh, come on.
Yeah, here we go again.
We want to get new feuds. WWE. What do you not get?
Yeah, let's move everybody in the same groups to the other places. It's like, dude, whatever. They don't know what they're.
Two storylines from Raw that have been drafted to SmackDown.
I don't think they care. I don't think these people care. I don't think I care. I don't think you care. But I do care that Soundwave 92 is the largest donation of the stream. So thank you to Soundwave 92 for dropping the $40. And, this is all we have, guys. So if you guys like the show, if you guys like my show, other than donating live, the best thing you can do right now is go to my Patreon in the description below or on your phones. If you haven't subbed to me yet for some fucking weird reason and you come here all the time, sub to me, hit the bell so that you get all my shit. Why haven't you subbed yet? What the fuck? Help out. Let's go. Hit the sub, hit the like, suck my ass. All right? And I come to my Patreon. You get 30 hours of bonus content. If you just do $5 a month, you get 30 hours a month of bonus shit that will make you crash your car laughing on the highway, or dark shit that will make you end your life. One of those two things will happen to you. Become a patron, sign up. We need to feed our families crack cocaine, and it's expensive, and my 4-year-old especially loves it. So please become a patron, patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show, or I will take a magic spoon and I'll shove it up somebody's ass, and this guy will eat more people again, or whatever he said. Thank you guys for listening. Please check out Patreon if you want 30 hours of bonus content and want all these shows to continue. The best way to do that is live donations or Patreon. We are still monetized here on Joe Cronin Show, but I am not monetized on Corrupted anymore. I was silenced over there by the YouTube gods. Hate me. I have no monetization on Corrupted Nation. And I put up a whole podcast on Shame on News today. So yeah, I'm here to try to entertain you during COVID and during your work days. So isn't Jake. And Jake right now is getting paid in cum. And so I'd like to pay him in money again, but we need to get more donations and more patrons so I can start paying Jake in money again instead of cum. So Jake is at Countdown Ended on Twitter. Shout out to Spaz Phoenix and Botch Club on Instagram. And I am Joe Cronin. I don't know why Jake just donated a bird. That's weird. You just gave
dancing.
Just gave 30 cents to Google. Right. I mean 30% to Google. It goes into music. Google. Now I've got to give Jake $5 back.
No, that's all from Google. That's going from Google's pocket to yours.
No, I'm just kidding. Whoa, you get the free $5?
I had Google credit left over. Yes, indeed.
Oh, that's a good idea. I think I've got Google credit too. Yes, I should just donate it to myself.
Damn straight.
Here we go. I'm about to get it, man. Here we go.
All right, good night, everybody. Oh, wait.
Here we go. Here
it comes. There it is.
Oh, no.
There it is. Good night. Jake DeMarco, thank you, sir.
Be sexy, everybody. Thank you.
Yeah, son. Good night. I got some spicy shit on Patreon this week.
And I had to rush it down my throat.